I'm 42 years old, and last Tuesday I sat down with a calculator and did something I probably should have done 20 years ago. I figured out exactly how much money I lost by never investing $5 a day. Not 50, not 500. $5. The price of a coffee, the number I got back, changed the way I think about every single day I've lived since I was 20. So let me show you the math. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's 2004. I'm 20 years old, living in a one-bedroom apartment that smelled like pizza and bad decisions. A guy at work, Marcus, handed me a brochure about index funds. Said, $5 a day, set it up with automatic. Forget about it. I looked at that brochure for a long time. And then I put it down. Because $5 felt like $5, not like $89,000. That's the thing about compound interest. Doesn't look like anything at first. That's why most of us miss it. Okay, let's do the actual math. $5 a day. That's $1,825 a year. Not life-changing, right? Now, put that into a simple S&P 500 index fund. Every year. For 22 years, at a real return of 7%, that's after inflation. Conservative estimate, you end up with $89,400. You put in $40,150. The market handed you an extra $49,250 for free, just for starting, just for not putting that brochure down. Let me put that another way. $49,250. That's not from investing more. That's not from picking the right stock. That's not from timing the market. That's just time. 22 years of doing nothing except not spending $5 a day. Think about what $49,000 means to you. A car, a down payment, 2 years of your kid's college tuition, a year without working. That's what compound interest looks like when you zoom out far enough. It's not exciting on day 1. It's not exciting on day 300. But on day 8,000, it's the difference between having options and not having them. So let's go back to the other timeline, the one where 20-year-old me actually said yes. He set up the automatic transfer that same night, $5 a day, straight into an index fund, and then he just lived his life. Same job, same apartment, same pizza. But somewhere in the background, quietly, automatically, without drama, the money was working. Year 1, nothing exciting. A few $100. Year 5, enough to notice. Year 10, he checks his phone one morning, pours his coffee, and just smiles. Not because he's rich, because it's working. While I was on that same couch, same remote in my hand, the other version of me had already built something. Same man, same starting point, different choice. Let me tell you what those 10 years actually looked like for the other Dave. He didn't move to a bigger apartment right away. He didn't buy a new car. He didn't tell anyone what he was doing. He just kept going to work, kept ordering pizza on Fridays, kept watching the same shows. The only difference was one automatic transfer, happening every single day, whether he thought about it or not. Year 3, he had enough saved to cover 3 months of rent if something went wrong. That feeling, that quiet background feeling of, okay, that's what $5 a day bought him first. Not wealth, not freedom, just okay. And okay is underrated. Because when you're okay, you make better decisions, you take better risks. You stop making choices out of panic. $5 a day didn't just build an investment account. It built a different version of the same man. Year 22. The other Dave opens his investment app on a Tuesday morning. Nothing special about that Tuesday. He's not on a yacht. He's not at a beach. He's sitting on a couch, drinking coffee, in a life that looks pretty normal from the outside. And the number on his screen says $89,400. He didn't hustle for it, didn't sacrifice his 20s for it. He just started. That same week, his water heater breaks. Repair guy shows up, hands him the bill, $800. He pays it, doesn't even flinch. Because when you have a cushion, a broken water heater is just a broken water heater. It's not a crisis. It's just Tuesday. Now here's the part I didn't see coming. Remember Marcus? The guy with the brochure? The one the other Dave said yes to, and I said no to. Well, Marcus didn't stop at the brochure. A few years later, he came back to me with another idea. A food truck. He wanted to go in together. The other Dave said no. Too risky. Too uncertain. He had his index fund. That was enough. I said no too. For different reasons. Mostly fear. Marcus did it anyway. Alone. And last year, he sold that business for $1.8 million. I found out on a Tuesday, sitting on my couch, scrolling through my phone, and the other Dave found out the same way. Here's the thing nobody tells you about making smart, careful, reasonable decisions. Sometimes the other path was better, not always, but sometimes. And you don't get to know which one until it's over. I want to sit with that for a second because I think we get sold this idea that if you just make the smart, careful, responsible choice, you win, and mostly that's true. The other Dave made the smart choice at 20, and it paid off. $89,000 worth of paid off. But Marcus made a different kind of smart choice. He saw something, he believed in it. He risked something real, and the universe handed him $1.8 million. Now here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying don't invest. I'm not saying index funds are wrong. I'm not saying be reckless. What I am saying is this. The other Dave thought his careful choice meant he'd never have to feel this feeling. That Tuesday morning feeling of, what if I'd said yes? Turns out, careful doesn't protect you from regret. It just changes what you're regretting. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's just in life. Two paths, different costs, no guarantees. But here's what I want you to take from this. Not guilt, not regret. Math. Because the same math that made $89,000 over 22 years still works today. If you start now, at whatever age you are, and put away just $5 a day, by the time you're 65, you're looking at $36,500. $10 a day, $73,000. 15, over $109,000. From nothing, from spare change. From the price of a coffee. The other Dave didn't have a secret. He didn't have more money, more talent, more luck. He just started. And the thing about starting is that today is always the youngest you'll ever be. I want to talk to you directly for a second, not about Dave, not about Marcus, about you. Because you watched this video for a reason. Maybe you're 20 and this is the first time you've thought about any of this. Maybe you're 35 and you're doing the math in your head right now and it stings a little. Maybe you're 42, like me, and you're sitting on a couch and you're wondering what the other version of you is doing right now. Here's what I want you to know. The math doesn't care how old you are. It only cares about one thing. When you start. The best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Today, not Monday, not next month. Not when you have more money. Not when things calm down. Now, $5, automatic transfer, index fund. Set it up before you finish watching this video. Because the other version of you, the one who started today, is already ahead. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just a guy who did the math, a little late. But here's what I know. Every week on this channel, we look at a decision, a real one, with real numbers, the path taken and the path that wasn't. Not to make you feel bad about the past, but to make the next decision a little clearer. If this one made you think, hit subscribe. New episode every week, and if you want to start today, $5, automatic transfer, index fund. That's it. That's the whole secret. The other Dave figured it out at 20. You just figured it out now. That's still pretty good.